Excuse me.
Hello, sir.
So, like, someone spilled a drink on the floor. So, can you get the janitor to clean it up?
Get the who, sir?
Janitor. So, the person who cleans and takes care of the building.
Oh, the caretaker. I'll beep for him now, sir.
Okay. Hello everyone, this is Billy.
Hi everyone, this is Stephen.
And today we're going to talk about some British words for different job titles.
We're also going to be comparing those titles to the American names you might already know.
Great, let's take a look. Mailman.
Postman.
Mailman.
Postman.
So do British people use the word post, right? So mail and post mean almost the same thing, right?
The verbs mean exactly the same thing, is to send something.
Right.
It's just that in the US it became more common to use mail because that refers to traveling. So when you send things in America, they had to travel very far.
Right.
But in the UK, traditionally, they used to put the letters literally on your door. So we think of it as posting something in the same way as we talk about poster that you have on a wall. So it's two verbs that just mean the same thing, but in the UK now we only use mail for email.
Oh, okay. And obviously that building is the post office, right?
Yes.
So that's the postman.
Yep, and the people who work there are postal workers.
Okay. Lawyer.
Solicitor.
Lawyer.
Solicitor.
So don't British people actually use that word, lawyer?
You can use lawyer, but it actually is a very, very general word. It just means anybody who is at law school, we can call they're a lawyer or they're going to be a lawyer. But after you graduate, you have to decide what kind of lawyer.
Right.
So the most common is a solicitor. So this is someone that you can pay to represent you privately for some legal matter. But we don't then call that person a lawyer anymore.
Then is that word from the word solicit? Right.
Yes, it is. Originally, to solicit means to pay someone to do a service for you. So maybe, 500 years ago, the only time we would really want to pay money to someone to do something for us was when it was to do with the law or a crime or something like that. So solicitor is always a private practice, somebody you must hire.
And again, lawyer is a very general term.
Yeah, nobody in the UK would describe themselves after graduation as, I'm a lawyer.
Okay. Pharmacist.
Chemist.
Pharmacist.
Chemist.
Doesn't the word chemist mean a scholar who deals with chemistry?
Well, I suppose you could also call that person a chemist. And of course, somebody who deals with drugs and medicine has to have gone to university and have a good education.
That's right.
But because it's all to do with, chemicals and drugs and things, that person who works in the little shop on the high street is also known as a chemist, and the place is a chemist's.
Oh, so you don't actually use the word pharmacist?
We do. We use it to mean a different type of drugstore. So for example, if you just have a headache, you go to the chemists in the high street. If you're at the hospital and you need something specialist or a very difficult drug to buy that you need, you would go to the hospital pharmacy. And that person is much more qualified and has to take care of, very powerful drugs, things that you cannot buy at the chemists.
So you don't also use the word pharmacy for general drugstore then?
No, that's always a chemist's. I think the thing is to separate the two. Hospital pharmacy, high street chemist.
Oh, so you use the word chemist and chemists to get the drug.
Exactly.
Right. Janitor.
Caretaker.
Janitor.
Caretaker.
So the word caretaker makes sense because that person takes care of everything, right? But what about the janitor? You don't actually use that word?
No, janitor is a very old word that means doorkeeper. So even in America, I think a janitor is someone who's seen as having a very low-paid or menial job, whereas a caretaker, people consider is very important. Their job is to take care of the whole building, make sure it's in good condition. And also in schools, the caretaker is responsible for all the students when they're in between classes. So a caretaker has a little bit more important job in a British way of thinking.
Then could the word caretaker mean like almost every kind of like building caretaker?
Yeah, I think it's a very general word. Some people in a nice hotel, maybe they want to be called a porter or a doorman or something, but essentially they are caretakers.
Okay, and also at school and at like factories, there are caretakers.
It's a very general word for the person whose job is to keep the standards.
Okay. Soccer player.
Footballer.
Soccer player.
Footballer.
So in America, football means a different sport, right?
Yeah, so they play American football, the sport where they don't actually use their feet.
Right.
And they came to playing soccer very late.
Right.
They, in fact, invented the word soccer.
Okay. But you use the word, but so in Britain, so soccer is football, right?
Exactly.
And what about soccer? You don't actually use that word soccer.
No, for most British people, soccer is, they find it a little bit insulting, you know, it's a strange word to them. And because football itself is such a big part of British culture, we actually give the people who play it a proper noun and call them footballers, which we don't really do for any other sport.
Right. And a player who plays that is called a footballer. What about football player?
Football player, you can say, but I think nowadays it's become very common just to say, what does he do? Oh, he's a footballer.
Like golfer and swimmer.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. Excuse me.
Hello, sir.
So, like, someone spilled a drink on the floor. So, can you get the janitor to clean it up?
Get the who, sir?
Janitor. So, the person who cleans and takes care of the building.
Oh, the caretaker. I'll beep for him now, sir.
Okay. So now we know how to say different job titles in British English.
Next time we're going to be taking a look at the differences between the British and the Korean education systems.
Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye-bye!